he did his typical thing of, he took like 10 seconds, looked up, did his calculations, then waved his hand. He looked at me and said, so as I was thinking of what to say for today, I decided to go back in time and possibly go back to how it all began. So I joined the Shri Sathya Sai Primary School in the year 1990. And back then when Swami would come for darshan, there would be some typical questions that he would ask the students. Like there used to be this question that Swami was very fond of, where he used to ask, what did you have for breakfast? And at that time, if you told Swami we had noodles, he would tell, oh, those earthworms. So he used to always, those are some of the questions that he would generally ask on a Sunday or Thursday morning. Since the primary school children come only on Sunday and Thursday mornings, we would be, ready for those kind of questions. But there were some questions that Swami would ask, for which we were told that we have to give a certain answer. And those questions that we were told, I remember once the principal ma'am called us aside and told us, see Swami, if he asks you, where did you come from? Tell Swami, I came from you. That was one question, where did you come from? Another question was, if Swami asks you, how many brothers and sisters do you have? You should tell Swami, all are my brothers and sisters. And the third question was, if Swami asks you, what do you want? You should tell Swami, I want you. So I was also kind of trained for these answers. And in this context, I remember there was a senior brother of mine. Possibly when I was in the first standard, he was studying his second. And one darshan Swami called him and asks him that, how many brothers do you have? So he innocently looks at his fingers and starts counting. And he says, Swami, I have 2 brothers. Then Swami looks at him and tells, hey, all are your brothers. So he tells, yes Swami, all are my brothers. Then Swami looks at him and asks, how many sisters do you have? So now he is kind of confused, because on one side till 10 seconds ago he was thinking he has so many sisters and brothers. But now he is being told that everyone is a sister. So even before he could answer, Swami said, all are your sisters. So he said, yes Swami, all are my sisters. And then Swami asks him, okay, so how many wives do you have? So at this point, this brother just replies, Swami, all are my wives. So I think that at that point, Swami had a share of fun and he laughed his heart out. Everyone sit around, laughs their heart out. But yes, those kind of questions that we were trained to ask, I remember. This was one incident which happened with that question of how many brothers and sisters do you have? Then there was this other question that, where did you come from? So I remember when I was in my first time and Swami asked me, where did you come from? So I told Swami, I came from you. To which Swami was very happy. He patted me on my back and continued going for darshan. But then as time went by, I grew up, I was in my high school, and it was around Diwali time, and we were all seated around Swami in front of the Purnachandra hall. The other end of the Purnachandra hall where, all the cracker bursting used to happen. So Swami was seated there. There were some VIPs, and on one side there were primary school children, on one side the students from high school and the college were there. So Swami came, as he was sitting there, he looked at one of the primary school boys and asked, where did you come from? And that boy's reply was immediate, Swami, I came from you. So Swami was very happy. And then Swami looked at another boy and asked, where did you come from? So he again told Swami, I came from you. To which Swami again was very happy, and then he looked at me and he asked, where did you come from? So now I know that there are children who have told Swami, we have come from you, and Swami is asking me, should I also tell I have come from you? At that point, this thing of I am grown up, I am more intelligent right now, started eating my mind. At this point of time, each time I look back at how my stay in this place has been, I always feel that when we were children, there were so many things that we were so innocent of, and when we told Swami things, we never thought, we were convinced about it. But as we grew, there's this funny quote which says, I was born intelligent but education ruined me. I think that totally applies to us. Because as we begin to grow, we start to analyze Swami. We start to think about, what does Swami expect from me at this point of time. So I am thinking, if I, a grown-up, tell Swami, I have come from you, it may sound very funny. Because there may be people around me who will look at me and think, oh, so you are a realized soul. You know that you have come from Swami. Is that what you want to say? So I was in a kind of a doubt, but then I eventually, with hesitation, said it. I told Swami, I have come from you. And then Swami looked at me and told, drama band karo, where did you come from? Stop the drama, where did you come from? And then I kind of felt free. I felt like, okay, now I can tell what I really want to tell. Where did I come from? So I told Swami, I came from Shimla. And Swami was like, yes, so you came from Shimla. What that whole incident taught me at that point of time was that Swami actually wants to know only what is in your heart. And he wants you to always tell him what is in your heart. Speak your heart out to him. He is always there to listen. You don't have to be fake with Swami in a relationship. Whether you are small or grown up, the thing with Swami is honesty in the relationship. And that's what I learned that day. Coming to that third question of what do you want? I remember when I was in the primary school and we got a chance to go into the interview room with Swami. Swami asked me, what do you want? And I replied, Swami, I want you. So Swami immediately created a medallion for me, a silver medallion, in which one side he is there, the other side there is an Om written. At that time, Swami had given that to enough number of kids. Yeah, it's a sad story that I lost it in the primary school itself. While playing games, it fell down and some such things. So I just happened to lose it. But yes, when I asked Swami when Swami asked me, what do you want? And I told that I want you. I knew at that point of time that it was a very spontaneous thing from me. But as I grew up, and I was always wondering, will Swami sometime ask me, what do you want? And will I still answer that I want you? Maybe sometime I will tell him, Swami, I want a PG seat. Maybe sometime I will tell him, Swami, I want to go with you to Kodaikanal. Or some such thing, where I know that actually what I desire is not the ultimate thing that I want you, but some other mundane things. So I had finished my studies. I finished my MTech, and it was in the year 2009. So Swami was asking everybody that, what did you finish, what did you complete, like that. And he looked at me and asked, what did you complete? So I told him, Swami, I finished my MTech. And so he immediately told me, you joined teaching. So I knew that, okay, my path ahead is I will have to join for teaching. Then we came back from Kodaikanal and we were in Parthi. So when it came to the time of me joining, the administration of the university, the vice chancellor and others told me that I will have to go to Brindavan and join for teaching. Now for me, going to Brindavan was almost like fish out of water, for the reason that from my primary school, that is from 1990, I had been in the Prashantinilayam campuses of Swami. That is, I did my undergraduation also from Prashantinilayam. Both my post-graduation degrees were from Prashantinilayam. So I was pretty not sure that what will I go and do in Brindavan. So there was this kind of doubt in me whether that is the right thing. Should I go or not go? So Swami was coming for darshan, And I got up and I asked Swami, Swami, एक confusion है. Swami like, क्या confusion है? So Swami asked me, I told Swami that, Swami, there is a confusion. And Swami looked at me and asked, what is the confusion? So I told Swami, the administration is asking me to go to the Brindavan/the Whitefield campus to join for teaching. So should I go or not go? And then Swami told, तुम्हारे दिल की इच्छा क्या है? Meaning, what is your heart's desire? And you won't believe me, it almost felt like a complete circle of life has come around. I joined the university telling Swami the same answer when I was small, that Swami, I want you. And today when I finished my studies and he is asking me, what is your heart's desire? The spontaneous answer that came from within was, I want to be with you. And then Swami said, whether you are in Whitefield or in Parthi, I am always with you. Now tell me what is your heart's desire. So then I think I was very clear that even if I am, that kind of thoughts that are there in our mind, that the moment you go to Whitefield, you are not in Parthi, maybe we will lose the connect with Swami, the physical connect. But the moment he said that, I am with you whether you are in Whitefield or in Parthi, I got the assurance and now I was clear. Now there was no doubt in my heart that I can go ahead to Brindavan and still serve Swami and Swami will be with me. So I told Swami, in that case I will go to Whitefield. He said, good. And like I was telling some time back, I felt that all that he will respond to is what is in your heart. And that is what happened with me even on that day. What was in my heart was the question of, I want to be with you. Now if I go away from here, is it that I am going to lose you? Because all through my life I have been with you in the same place, not more than 500 meters away from you, even in terms of staying in the hostel. So it always felt like that was that kind of doubt in my heart, to which he responded. Like, we hear the story of when Draupadi tried to call out to him at a time of need, she kept calling everything Dwarkavasi and Mathuravasi and all of that. But finally, when she told Hridayavasi, that's when he immediately appeared there. So I think the thing ultimately is, after we go through this period of time with Swami, he ultimately is there with us in our hearts. And that is where we need to look for him. There is no other place that we can find him easier than in our hearts. I remember, towards the end of Swami's physical sojourn, he always kept telling me again and again in various forms that ultimately I am there in your heart. I recollect a couple of experiences or stories from the past that remind me about how Swami would listen to what your heart is saying. There is a very kind of, say, a funny story. Like in this time of being with Swami, we always get used to having such a close relationship with him, where he is like anyone, like your friend or stuff like that. So, don't really misunderstand me in any of this, but then it is what it is. It's the beauty of being in the physical proximity of Swami. So, I was seated in the year, it was something like 2006 or 2005, and I was seated in the mandir. So, Swami was coming for darshan, and I was coming to the fag end of my second year in undergraduation. So what happens in our system of education is, in the third year, you get to take a major subject. So my options in my second year were maths or economics. And Swami came for darshan. He looked at me and asked, "Kya samachar?" It's almost like what news or what's up, that kind of a thing. So the thought that immediately crossed my mind is, everybody wants to ask Swami for what major to take, and here is Swami asking me what news do I have. So what a better opportunity than this for me to ask Swami what major should I take. So I told Swami, next year what major should I take? Swami's next question kind of surprised me. He asked, what options do you have? So I was like, oh, Swami, this much you want to know? So I told Swami, I have maths and economics. The moment I told maths and economics, again the monkey mind started playing its tricks. So the thought that crossed me was, Swami, I know that you like maths. So since I have told maths or economics, you may just blurt out that I should take maths. But Swami, ultimately I am going to study maths and I don't want to do another MSc maths and then do an MTech computer science. I don't want to study so long. I will do a BSc economics, do a MBA and be done with my studies. But Swami, if you take time and think and tell me what I should do, then I will do whatever you say. So, it may almost seem like I was ready to disobey the divine command, but it was also that I knew that in this, that's where I was saying, the monkey mind plays its tricks, where the heart is saying that, Swami, please don't tell it immediately. I want you to possibly think and then tell. So you won't believe. After I told Swami, should I take maths or economics, and this rush of all these crazy ideas are going on in my mind, Swami literally stood in front of me. He had come in the car that time. So he was seated, the window was rolled down. He did his typical thing of, he took like 10 seconds, looked up, did his calculations, then waved his hand. He looked at me and said, maths karo. And I was bold. I was sheer bold for the reason that I was thinking, Swami, if you tell maths, no, I am okay. I will go ahead and do economics, for the reason that you have told it immediately. But I, within my heart, was feeling, Swami, if you want to tell me to do maths, think and tell. And he literally thought, Swami behaved, acted like as if he is thinking. Not that he needed to think, but he was actually responding to what was there in my heart. He was actually listening to what was going on in me. And that kind of convinced me that he actually is all the time residing in our heart. Another similar thing happened when we had gone to Kodaikanal. Me and another brother of mine got this chance to give a speech in Kodaikanal. So Swami asked the All India President that who is going to speak today. And he said, Swami, these two boys. So Swami called, we were taken to Swami, and this other brother of mine immediately went up to Swami and started telling Swami what he is going to talk on. To which Swami heard very patiently, and then Swami looked at him, blessed him and told, good. Then came my turn. And when my turn came, I was like, Swami, please don't ask me what I'm going to talk on, because I don't want to tell you what I'm going to talk on. Kind of the thing that if I tell Swami right now what I'm going to talk on, then when he's seated there will be nothing new for Swami to listen. So that was the thing in my mind, actually in my heart. So when I went to Swami, the first thing he asks me is, what are you going to speak on? I'm like, no Swami, this is what you shouldn't have asked. But then, okay, nevertheless, I was almost like going to tell him what I'm going to speak. And then he immediately told, mat bolo, don't tell. जो भी तुम्हारे दिल में आए वो बोलो. Whatever comes to your heart, speak that. So I was like kind of very happy at that point of time, because I did not have to tell Swami what I'm going to speak. Also, there was this, like I told, when we grow up, we become intelligent, there was this thought that everybody else is going to hear what I'm going to speak. So Swami, don't ask me in front of everybody. Then it will be like everybody starts judging what I'm going to speak on. Then there is no suspense of my talk. But coming back to that point where he ultimately, he knew what was in my heart. He knew that I didn't want to tell. At the same time, he knew that I didn't want him to ask. But he did both of them. He looked at me and asked, what are you going to speak on? At the same time, before I could tell, he said, okay, fine. You tell what is in your heart. So he kind of assured to me that he is listening all the time what is happening in my heart and in my mind. So I think ultimately we have to just connect to this aspect and believe that he is always listening to what is in your heart. Anytime you have any question, always look back at your heart and just pause, take your time, listen to what your heart is saying, and be assured that it is He who is speaking from within. Because I think we all don't have anybody else more above in our hearts than Swami. Like, Swami would very often tell, again he used to tell it in a joking, fun manner. He would tell that your heart is not a musical chair. It is not that one day I am there, someday somebody else has to come, so you can't keep rotating. So if at all I am there in your heart, I have to be there in your heart. Tomorrow somebody else cannot be there in your heart. But I think, yes, as we go through life, there are so many people who get close to us or whom we love and all of that. But ultimately you know that your heart beats for Him. And that's the only thing you can fall back on. There is nobody else who can convince you more about what Swami wants from you than what your heart can convince you about. So I think I have learned that in my stay with Swami, that just listen to your heart and I will speak from there.